Ciao a tutti, it's Aggro, man. It's been a year since my last tier list video, so I wanted to update it. So this time we're going to go over more decks than the usual. Yeah, I just felt like it. Starting off with, well, we're gonna go in alphabetical order. We're gonna start with 3.5 Axis Fire Fist, which is going straight into Midrogue. Deck is like shit. It's not that bad, but like the thing is, it dies to so many things that it's really not funny. And it dies to hands, dies to artifacts, dies to hand traps. Doesn't really love combo either. If it goes off, it's like really nice because it can go like, I don't know, +2, +3, and like make a bunch of beaters. But both the three axis cards are not very consistent. The 4 axis card are not very good, at least not into the meta. So overall the deck is pretty mid in my opinion. 4 axis Gishki, which yes is a deck. So like Gishki without the rituals. I'm gonna put it in Midrogue, but like bottom of Midrogue. Like for a while, I did believe in this deck, but we've seen better rank 4 decks rise up than this Abyss Dweller Turbo deck, and Mermal isn't as popular as it used to be either. So this deck is pretty good into Mermals, but that's kind of it. Really. Next up, we have Agents. Agents, kind of an interesting deck. You can play artifacts with it. Does have some synergy, but definitely one of the weaker artifact variants. Definitely not that strong. And agents by themselves also kind of power crept. Without ignition, priority, it's like the boss monsters of the deck are not that good. They are bricky. And that's not great. That's not great. Next up, we have Aliens. Aliens, a deck that I have brought in the past to a tournament, which are also going to go into Midrogue. We're starting off with actually, let's break this shit up. Agents, low rogue. Fuck it. Aliens. Golgari is a strong card. You can bounce face up traps, so like Call of the Haunted and Finish Chain. That's really nice. And so you have synergy with artifacts. The issue is like you don't really do much. Like you summon a beater, and then hopefully you can summon a King of the Four Limbs to go into Golgari. But that's kind of it, really. That's not enough. That's just not enough in the format, but the synergy with artifact does carry it quite a lot. Speaking of synergy with artifacts, which is a drinking game, take a shot every time I say synergy with artifacts. Also subscribe while you're at it, and leave a like, and leave a comment every time. Instead of taking shots because drinking is bad for you and for your liver and you shouldn't do it, comment on my videos because that's good and you should do it. So anyways, Ancient Gears. It's a pretty good deck, to be honest, as I put it into Midrogue. Actually, like, I feel like I could see it rise up to be something good. The issues are kind of like you're playing Gadgetron Dragon, which is a pretty big brick, and you don't really have much tech room at all in the deck, especially if you're running like Necro Valley, which I would definitely say is the better build, because what's better than artifacts with a 3k beater, artifacts with a 3k beater, and Necro Valley? That's always great. Yeah. Next up, we have Anti-Meta Stun, which is going into casual. Spoiler alert, this tier is not very long, but wow, Anti-Meta sucks in hat. Like, wow, does it get shit all over by hands and artifacts, really? And Traptrixes too. And Geargias. Honestly, like, really not that great. Next up, we have Archfiends, which, yeah, Midrogue. Okay, you can play artifacts with them. Speaking of artifacts, pure artifacts. Is this even a deck? Okay, it is because I have lost to it, but still, it's like play a real deck. Come on now. Stop playing like fucking Archlord Christia Turbo artifacts. Play a real deck like Atsworn. Like that's a real deck. And I'm mostly talking about like just Atsworn, not really Fart, which is the variant with the fairy stuff like Krista or Herald of the Orange Light and Celestia. Although, honestly, even that is, I feel like could be decent in High Rogue. But the thing is, like, it's artifact trap tricks. You can't really go wrong with that. So High Rogue, you can't really go lower than High Rogue. Really, is my opinion. Next up, we have Raccoons. Raccoons, really cool deck. I'm not gonna order these the rogue decks. I'm just gonna order tier 3 and above. But Raccoon, one of those decks that you can just fill with engines and make good. Because like Raccoons in and of themselves are not that great because they lack Valeriphon, which is a really crucial card for the deck. But you can play hands, you can play Traptrixes, so that's pretty good. Next up, we have Battling Boxers. I really did believe in this deck, but no, yeah, mid-rogue. Because like the deck is so limited into it railroads itself so much. Actually, it does have a decent artifact matchup if it can set up, so sure, I guess. High Rogue, fuck it, yeah. Blackwings. One of those decks that kinda sorta, you either play them pure and they're not very good, or you play them with artifacts because they have level 3 tuners, but they're not very good still for different reasons. But they're probably better with artifacts, Like, honestly, the fact that fucking what's his name? The level 3 guy, is it Gale? I'm having a brain fart at the moment. The fact that he's limited is ridiculous. And but the main thing that is holding the deck back is that like you're relying on an unsearchable continuous spell, which is fucking, that's a recipe for disaster in that format, because continuous spells do not last, and you need them to at least be searchable for them to provide value. Like, honestly, their main value is being bait for removal, because at least it is good at that because it's such a high, it's such an important card. But then it also kind of anti-synergizes with the artifacts because it's a card that they would MST instead of using their MST on your back rows. So yeah, but Blackwings do definitely get carried by their back rows because they can play Icarus Attack, they can play Delta Storm. Those are two pretty insane cards, like, honestly. And then you can also add Sanctum on top of that, and Black Sonic if you want to, but kind of just worse Mirror Force, and Mirror Force is already not good. Not worse Mirror Force, but more finicky. That's the word. But yeah, next up we have finally a good deck. Holy shit, Bujins. Tier 1.5, like, yeah, it's Bujins. You normal summon Yamato, and then you win. Like, yeah, that's kind of it. It's also nice for the deck that Diddy Crow is not seeing as much main deck play as it once was, so that's good for, not just your Grave Bujins, but also Bujin Carnation. That's more likely to resolve. So yeah. Next up we have Cat. Honestly, yeah, tier 1. Cat's still really good deck. I'm not sure whether it's better than Hat, or rather, I don't think it's better than Hat at the moment. But the two decks kind of go with flows and such. And right now the flow is in Chat. That's right, Chat, the newest Hat variant. It's Karkar Hands, Artifact Traptrixes, and this deck plays 2 card cards and 2 hands, and Artifact Traptrixes, and that's pretty good because you can play the hands for having a great artifact mirror, but then you can side out the hands versus other decks and play Cat, which is really good into everything else, really. and then you still lose to Gilgas, so that's unfortunate. So, doesn't solve every deck, every issue of the deck, but we'll get there when we'll get there. Wink, wink, nudge, nudge. Actually, fuck it. It's like the main thing that I want to talk about, and it's right here, and that's annoying, and I don't want it. So what the facts? We're gonna just put them in already, and yeah, I'm still unsure. I'm gonna put it below Cat because I know I am biased because I am probably the best VAT player in the world right now. But the deck is just really good, honestly. The deck is just really good. Like, yeah, you have Mahanders, which are not the best draws. But then you have Thunder Seahorse, which is like just a gear powered level card in a deck that's already running 3 Sanctums and 3 Ignitions, which is ridiculous. Then you have Cobra, which is a great card. And then you have Giraffe, which the more I play the deck, the more I am 100% fine with drawing it. I am always, not always, but very often happy to see Giraffe. And if the deck has only 3 cards, I would rather not draw, the 2 Mahanders and the Big Attack. That's a lot better than 3. And, Mahander, I want to draw it if I see something else. And, even in some situations where I bricked, like the Mahander is still normal summon. It's not the worst card in the world. So, deck is very consistent. Deck is very good into Girgas, very good into, pretty good into Hat. And, kind of struggles with Cat. That's probably its worst matchup. But, it does have so many great matchups. Its only real weakness compared to At, in my opinion, is like the fact that you don't have much room to side stuff out and you don't have much stack room because you're running so many engine cards. But those engine cards are really good. Like Vat is the only deck in the format that can play Soul Charge and usually doesn't. And if it does, it only plays 1. But there aren't too many anti-synergy points. So, shoutouts to Flamonato for just discovering this monstrosity. And yeah, the VATs are tier 1 or tier 1.5 if you go by the stats. But tier 1 if you ask me. Tier 1 in my heart. Hat format 2025. Let's go. Show this to Yugi Boomer. Show this to MBT, actually. Or, whatever. Any big YouTuber, I don't care. Anyways, Chainbeat. This is a deck that I really like, and I am really happy to see that it's seeing quite a bit of play. Although, frankly, it's only really one guy, but, that one guy is really good with it. And, yeah, I'm happy to see that it's doing fine, even if it doesn't have the best artifact matchup. It's managing just fine. Next up, we have Chainburn, which unfortunately is a pretty damn good deck too. Don't play this, but if you were to play this, you might do fine, maybe. Next up, speaking of you might do fine, that's a Chaos Sworn, kinda in a nutshell, I would say. Honestly, is it bottom of tier 3? Is it high rogue? I don't know. Man, I'm gonna put it in tier 3 because Bills is still a pretty fucking annoying card, honestly. And this is the best deck at making it. And you have a lot of other good attributes, but you're definitely better off playing some other decks. One of those decks is not Chronomalies. Chronomalies are kinda ass. No Nebra Disc means bad, but you can make rank 5s with artifacts, of course, and rank 3s, but you kind of run into the same issue as windups, where you want to run rank 3s and rank 4s and rank 5s and instant fusion, and where is the answer? Where is the extra deck space? Just where is it? It's not there. You can kind of just cut down on the rank 4s, but still. Next up, we have Pure Constellars, which if I were to go by how much I think they have a point in existing and me and playing, I will put it in casual. But the deck is seeing some success for some reason. I don't quite get it, so I'm gonna put it in tier I'm gonna put it in high rogue. Fuck it. You know, like just comparing it to okay, I am fairly confident in the fact that my build of Constellars is the best because it's the only one in which I don't want to die when I do test hands and break half the time. But, you know, I do recognize that it's not everyone's cup of tea. And to that, I say, get good. Like, traps are cool and all, but they don't give you any better grind game. Doesn't really fix your weakness of running out of steam. Actually, doesn't even give you steam. It just stops the opponent's steam, which artifacts do as well, and they also give you steam. Granted, like in neither case is your steam sustainable. You know, you're just trying to win early, but you know, with artifacts you can do it so much better, so much faster, so much more consistently. Like really, I don't get the point of playing pure Constellars. Like, oh wow, you're playing 5 extra traps. They're really gonna help your consistency and power and everything. Like, I'm sure. I'm sorry to the few pure Constellar players for just unloading. But like, I cannot be convinced that it's a good deck. I genuinely cannot be convinced that it's a good deck. And you're going to see once we fill up tier 2 that my opinion on Constellars has gone down with time, and with you know, part of it is also because while it is my child, so you know, I am inclined to play it and like it. At least my build is my child, and it's not like Constellars were a new thing. But there's a reason why I stopped playing it, and it's also partly because it's really not my kind of deck. Like, Vat is my kind of deck. What Artifact is like so my kind of deck. It's not even funny. While Constellars are like a bit too aggressive for my tastes. But you know, the reason why I kind of stopped playing the deck is because I don't enjoy losing games due to luck. And you know, even with max consistency Constellars, sometimes it just doesn't feel like it's enough, you know? So yeah. Moving on, we have Counter Fairies, which is a pretty cool deck. I would not be surprised to see this deck top in the future. Of course, I'm talking about Counter Fairy artifacts. Tell me one deck that around here that doesn't play artifacts. You know, there's a bunch, but it's a joke. But yeah, you can play hands, you can play Traprixes, you can play Vandalgion. I would say that Hack is probably the better build, you know, with hands or artifacts, because they help you go second, which Counter Fairies are not known to do very well. But yeah. Next up we have Pure Cyber Dragon, which I'm going to put in low rogue because it's not really a deck. But what is a deck is Cyber Dragons artifacts. That's a really good deck because if you don't know, Cyber Dragons have a card, Cyber Network, which is basically what you get if you made a cross-archetypal support between Cyber Dragons and artifacts, except it's not that, it's just a very bad Cyber Dragon support. That's really good when you play artifacts with it. So yeah, it's not just because it's a level 5 light thing, the trap is really broken. Next up we have Dark Worlds, which are really ill-equipped for hands, artifacts, Traprixes, the Crows, Bottomless, Rhapsody, a lot of things. It's really bad. It's really bad into the meta. Kind of like 3.5 Axis Fire Fist. You know, it's a fine deck in a vacuum, but it's really bad into the meta. Next up we have Dragonity, which, and you know, it's kind of a similar thing, but you know, more combo based. But Ravine is banned. You do have a few combos, but it's kind of, in my opinion, kind of just worse heretics. So yeah. Next up we have Electrum OTK, which I haven't seen in quite a while, but I did see do some stuff a while ago, so I am still gonna rank it. But you know, I'm gonna put it in low rogue until I see someone cook with it. Next we have Evil Swarms, which I'm going to put in tier 3, below Cyber Dragons, I feel like, because you know, it's a really nice deck, and but it kind of suffers from the resurgence of hat and chat also. That's kind of nasty. So yeah, Vats also don't seem like a great matchups compared to like cat, because you know, you might have to wait. You probably have to waste like your finish chain on the Vats if they try to attack, and then that leaves you open for like 4 plays in main phase 2. So you know, you kind of just have to pick your poison. Next up is Evil Source, and Evil Source are kinda ass. They are so slow. So slow, and there's better decks to make the Evolved Tsar monsters, frankly. Exodia, obliterated into low rogue. Although, frankly, the fact that Vader is basically not in the format does give it some potential, maybe? I don't see Exodia, really, ever. But you know a deck that would be great at drawing into Exodia? Fables. I'm gonna put it in mid-rogue because I am hopeful that if Black Hunter comes back to the format, that he will be able to top with the deck, because he's the GOAT. But yeah, besides that, I would put it into low rogue. Next up we have Fat, and man, Fat really fell off. You know, Artifact Trap Tricks cannot be that bad, so you know, I can't put it in mid-rogue, but holy fuck, it's like not that good. You know what's better? Fire Tricks. Fire Tricks is definitely better, because consistency, it's a lot more consistent. And you know, Fire Fists are not as good an engine as Watts to full warrant like a Fat deck compared to a Watt deck. While Fire Tricks are at least is kind of just like the most consistent deck in the format, so you know, that's something. Next up we have Fire Kings, and this is like just Fire Kings, not KFC. That's we're gonna get there later. But Fire Kings, besides the fact that I fucking hate the deck, you know, it's a pretty good skill drain hand deck. So you know, it can't be that bad, but I am biased against it. So you know, I don't know. Feels kind of cheesy, but you know, it does match up decently into artifacts and hands and such. So you know, I feel like it does have. Okay, now I'm talking myself into a tier 3 slot. Fuck it, why not? Next up we have Frogs, which shoutouts to probably the most underplayed deck in the format. Holy fuck, this deck is scary. I don't want to face this deck. It's so unpredictable. Like it can go from doing nothing just straight up OTKing you in like a second, and it spends so much time stalling too, and it's really good at stalling too. So that's it's really scary in my opinion. But you know, nobody plays it, so I can't really put it much higher. And I do mean like nobody plays it. It's not even really underplayed, it's just not played. So yeah. Next up, you know, this deck finally got to tier 2 from tops gadgets, but you know, honestly, it's not tier 2. I don't think it is, because there's better rank 4 decks, in my opinion. But it is still a solid deck, and I do feel like it has potential to rise up even further. A new innovation with the deck is the quick play chaos spell, because C11 is a fucking beast, and making it off a quick play spell is better than making it off a normal spell. So yeah, but something that isn't as good is Gagagas, which holy fuck, this deck is bad. It's really missing support, because you really want to summon 2 bodies, but you can't. It's really bad at doing so. So yeah, Gagagas are kinda ass, but they're causing Go-Go-Go's are not as ass at all. It's actually quite a nice deck. I do really enjoy it, but overall it's a solid rank 4 deck. Can kinda just explode out of the graveyard at any point. So late game it is really scary, and can can completely swarm the board from like 0, from like 1 card in grave and a full graveyard, 1 card in hand and a full graveyard, just can summon like 3 or 4 XYZs. The main issue with the deck is that like you need to set up the graveyard so much that you are not making the other rank 4s as much. You know, you're not toolboxing them enough. Like I once played in a stream versus Raminator, who was streaming. Shoutouts to Raminator, by the way, and or Ramsing on YouTube. I don't remember his YouTube username, but I was playing Go-Go-Go's versus Mythic Rulers, and like I remember him saying like 3 or 4 times, "Is he gonna make Dweller?" Because he was probably fearing Dweller, only for me to then make Lava Wall Chain because I needed to, make my follow-up with it. So yeah, but you know a deck that doesn't really have that problem? Girgias. It's Girgias. It's good, but you know what's even better? Girgia hands, because you can't really be sure what the set card is. But you know, Girmaleo is also good, so shoutouts to that. Shoutouts to Ghost Rider, but yeah, it's Girgias. It's Girgias. It's Girgias. It's Girgias. Girgia Armor. I flip summon Girgia Armor. I activate Girgia Gear. I summon Girgigantex. It's Girgias. It's Girgia time. Oh look! I can play Karakuris in this. It's not very good because you know what Karakuri isn't? It's not Girgias. Girgias are good. You can make level 8 synchros and level 7 synchros. That's great and all, but you're kinda cutting into your rank 4 and rank 3 pool, and rank 4s are good. Rank 3s too. That kinda sucks. But you know, at least you're not Blaze Phoenix Girgias. That's something. Blaze Phoenix Girgias, you know, kind of cheesy, kind of frail, but you know what they say? It's Girgias. It's pretty good. Okay, I am going insane. I just want to be done with Girgias. I want to go back to talking about things that people care about, like Gem Knights, which are going straight to casual, because this deck is ass. Moving on, we have Ghost Tricks, which honestly are pretty good, but what even is a Ghost Trick deck? There's so many builds, which mostly are the other engine that you're playing, with Ghost Tricks being the engine to the archetype. But you know, Ghost Tricks with some other engine like artifacts or Dark Creator or like Dark Shit, or just anything that isn't pure Ghost Tricks is like still pretty solid, honestly. Although with Watts Rising, maybe not so much anymore, because you know, they used to be good into artifacts, but Giraffe is a card, and you have to respect the Giraffe because it is brutal after all. Next up, we have Gimmick Puppets. You know, it's a pretty good Machina deck, but there's much better decks at making rank 8s. Next up, we have Gishki's ritual builds. Not necessarily with Zeal Gigas, because God forbid Gishki players agree on playing a card, but you know, it can be good sometimes. It's also pretty frail and kind of bricky. But Gishki Abyss is a really strong consistency card, and it's also really easy to get to and to get back. So, you know, it is okay. Next up, we have Gladiator Beasts, which really not good into the meta, really. And honestly, just outdated, and Bestiary being at 1 is just horrible. So yeah, like you can't even play Prisma safely because Bestiary is at 1, and they might have Crow for it, mainly game 1. But yeah. Next up, we have Pure Gravekeepers, you know, with Imperial Tombs and all, and I'm gonna put it in like mid-rogue. It's not that strong, but you know, Necroval is still good, even without the broken artifact synergy. And straight up, this is the most underplayed deck in the format, in my opinion, besides Frogs. deck is so fucking good. Like, if it wasn't for the fact that it had a terrible hat matchup, and I do mean only hat specifically and chat, I would probably put it in tier 1.5. Actually, scratch the probably. It's really good in my opinion. It is passive, but with Necro Valley you can afford to be passive because you can't get Soul Charged to Oblivion under it. Next up we have Gustos, which are kind of like the opposites of frogs. Well, not really. Actually, they're pretty similar to frogs. They stall a lot and then they make sprees. And then they just keep stalling and being annoying, except they can also OTK with sprees by just crashing into shit, so you have to play around them. So yeah, it's like actually it's pretty similar to frogs, just worse. They're a lot more exploitable, really, but they are still kind of solid in my opinion. Next up we have Harpies, which are an interesting deck. It's a pretty solid rank 4 deck, but the real star of the show is the Artifact synergy. The real not star of the show is the Artifact matchup. It's really abysmal, but besides that, if you can dodge artifacts, which a pretty big if, but if you can dodge artifacts, the deck is actually like really good, but yeah, just really bad matchup into like every artifact deck. Speaking of every artifact deck, it's hat format. I'm gonna go out on a limb and put chat above hat because the theory does kind of convince me, because hat is worse than cat versus a bunch of other decks, and being able to play cat in a lot of other matches is nice, but hat is still really solid and still kind of one of the decks to beat alongside Gilgias. Although frankly, we are kind of reaching the point where people are playing around hands again, so they are not as good as they were like a year ago, in my opinion. And also Watts kind of just don't really care about the hands. But yeah, next up we have Hazy Flames, which I don't know, like they do stuff, I guess, but not a lot. I tried to build it with like ninjas and heretics. I never tried playing it, but I did try building it, so that's something. Something that I have tried playing and building, and I am planning to do so a lot more in the future, is Heraldic Beasts. In my opinion, the better gadgets. Although, frankly, I could see actually, I'm gonna put it below gadgets for now, because one, gadgets are more proven right now, but also people are playing Breakthrough Skill a lot less than they were a couple of years ago, which is Gadgets' main counter, while people are playing like the Bunks and Crows at about the same rate. Maybe not as much in the main deck, but at least for Crow. But the Bunk is seeing an uptick because of Watts, so Heraldic in general is seeing more hate incidentally compared to Gadgets. However, I do like Heraldics a lot more. I do like their consistency more, in that it's like they are fine with drawing multiple Heraldics, while Gadgets really aren't, unless they get stopped. But yeah, next up we have Herald, and Herald is not very good in my opinion. The main issue is that Fairy does have quite a few consistency tools. You can play like Cards from the Sky, you can play like Dualities, Reckless Greeds. There is a lot of consistency to go around. The thing is that that consistency is for turn 3, and Herald wants to set up on turn 1 to win, and there are the tools to set up Herald turn 1 consistently just are not in the format. Deck is like really inconsistent when it needs to be, and it's consistent enough when it's too late. So yeah. Now talk about Rise. I had the hero in like low rogue at some point, but frankly, this is one of the decks that I dread facing the most because it's just so sacky. It's so sacky. It's so sucky when it doesn't sack you. It sucks so bad when it doesn't sack, but when it sacks so hard that you kind of just suck its balls. I don't know, punny puns. But yeah, it plays hands and it plays a skill drain. That's a recipe for success if I ever saw one in this format. Look at Fire Kings up here in tier 3. Actually, they're too high. It's not that good. But, still, hands and skill drain are classic. Next up, we have Hieratic Rulers, which, I don't know, they are achieving results, but I am biased against it because it is a very, very, very inconsistent deck. It's like Brick City. It's like the 3-card combo deck where half your deck doesn't really combo. So yeah, but when you do pop off, you pop off. You really do fucking pop off. So yeah, it is still good, but I don't rate it very highly. Next up, we have Ilmos, in loving memory of Stratos, which nobody's playing because it's a meme deck from back in 2014, 2013, which I only have in the tier list because I do like, but I am not crazy enough to play. Actually, probably like low rogue. It's like there's just better similar decks, really. But there's also better ninja decks, there's better Traprix decks, there's better Madolche decks, I guess. So yeah, Infernities. I have my opinions on Infernities have improved because it is still a scary deck to face, and I do feel like we are on the cusp of having a great Infernity player in the format that kind of breaks the deck, because it's a deck that does need a great pilot to fully express its full potential. However, there's still issues of like just auto losing to Max C and not liking Crow, and also the rise of Artifact Scythe over the past 2 years is quite an issue. Although, frankly, Artifacts already were the deck's worst matchup, mainly Cat. Cat is the combo killer. Next up, we have Insectors, which did kind of fall off. At some point, they were a decent rogue deck, but Diddy Crow was everywhere in the main deck, and even nowadays, it's still decently common. And it's in every side deck. So yeah, not the best deck in my opinion. But I could be proven wrong, and depending on mainly how much Diddy Crow is seeing play, the deck could be a sleeper pick. Next up, we have Drax, which I have topped with, and the meme with the deck is that it's the only deck in the format with a 100% conversion rate, because I am the only person who has ever brought it to a tournament, and I have won. I have topped with it, and Ninja Jirax get counted as ninjas. So yeah, Jirax 100% conversion rate, and I hope it stays for like that for a while because it's just funny. But deck is better than it looks, because ending on like Evolzors plus Pleiades is pretty good, and it has pretty good synergy with the artifacts in general. So in just making Guaiba resolve and keeping the tempo up. So yeah. Next up, we have Karakuris, pure Karakuris, and the deck can make some decent boards, to be honest. But it is quite a bit quite frail, and doesn't really have much of a plan B. So yeah, pure Karakuri is not the best deck in the format. Cat is like, it's just worst Cat with a C, but even then, some people play Cat with a C with some Curry Bandits on top of that. It's not as common nowadays as it used to be, but it's still a build. But that falls under cat with a C. Cat with a K is like it's kind of just worse cat with C, really. And but yeah, it's still artifact trap bricks. So even if no one is running it, and it's not that good, it kind of just has to go somewhere here. Curry Bandit is still a pretty good card, and it does have decent synergy with artifact trap bricks, even if card is just better. Next up, we have KFC. Shoutouts to Avenger Bagnarol. KFC is like Fire King, King Fist Control, and I'm gonna put it at the bottom of tier 3 just because it has potential. But basically it's playing like 3 Onslaught, 2 Garunix, and 2 Yaksha as a Fire King engine, and then a Fire Fist engine, and then an Artifact engine, usually without Beagle Touch, and then Trap Trixes or Hands. And then whatever else you want to. It's really just a mesh Fire Fist Fire King deck. But I feel like the concept of a small Fire King package has potential as a whole in the format. So I am gonna put it in tier 3 for the potential it has. But next tier list I might make it rise somewhere in the middle of tier 3. Maybe it might fall to the top of High Rogue, I don't know. Next up we have Koakimerus, which really good. Like can make a lot of damage, can make rank 4s quite a lot, can spam the board, can blow up the entire back rows. It has access to a Recon Powered, which is an insane card. It's Harpy's Feather Duster, but it's a trap, so it's even better in this format because it gets around artifacts. But it only hits face down cards, I think. But yeah, just insane card. And Quackies in general are great. Unfortunately, they cannot search Recon Power, but that's fine. That would be kind of broken. Speaking of unfortunately cannot search the best card in the deck, Laval's. It's open Molten Conductor or Bust. And with Rekindling at 1, you don't even necessarily want to play it because you'd have to play the level 4 target, which is kind of bad otherwise. And you'd only be playing it for the Rekindling, really, which is a one-off. So it's a good card, but still. And I'm mainly talking about like Laval artifacts because Quasar Lavals are like low rogues at best. Fabled is better, but Laval artifact is a pretty solid deck. Probably one of the better decks with 0 tops in the format, if we don't count like historical tops at least. Next up we have Lightsworn Ruler, which I'm gonna put near the bottom of tier 3. It did reach 5 tops last year for a while. However, it also still has by far the lowest conversion rate, or actually win rate in the format, at least of the decks that have reached tier 2. Like, it had 38% win rate. That is abysmal. And in general, like, the deck is really frail. Normal summon reliant, mill reliant, and Lackler reliant. Doesn't love hand traps. Though, could be worse. But, it really does struggle with hat decks. And, getting their normal summon stopped in general. So, yeah. But, if they do pop off, they do pop off. Next up, we have Madolches, which I am a known hater of, but, it's still a solid deck overall. Just not as good as its play. It's not as good as the numbers would suggest because it's just played a lot because it has a loyal fan base. Though the fact that Drain got banned from the Discord by me because holy fuck, a man has a tipping point. A man has patience, but at the end of the day, a man has to do what's best for the community. And unfortunately, that kind of sucks for Madolches because that's Madolche's best player. That's Madolche's best soldier right there. But it had to be done for the good of the server. But yeah, Madolches can be played in a lot of ways. The deck is nowhere near solved still, and you can play with hands, hand traps, even artifacts if you want to, Murmleos, TGs, Ghost Tricks, what have you. But in my opinion, none of it is reaching tier 2 status. Next up, we have Hunters, which kinda just bad compared to other rank 4 decks. But, you know, as you all know, Giraffe is brutal, so, you know, playing that is pretty good. Malefics are a solid stun deck. I'm gonna put him in mid-rogue. I do like the deck, and I feel like it has potential as a big monster stun deck. You know, while we're talking about big monster stun decks, Tribute Stun also pretty good stun deck. Certainly better than Anti-Meta Stun. But yeah, Mecha Phantom Beast. I'm gonna put it in low rogue because you know, there's a bunch of ways to build a deck, but frankly I don't think any of them are good. It's bad at being a combo deck, it's bad at being a control deck, it's kind of just bad all around. Speaking of bad all around, it's Melee at Turbo. It's not even really much of a deck anymore, but well, actually, I just noticed I forgot to include Plant Princess in the tier list. So this is Plant Princess, and Plant Princess is going in mid-rogue. Consistency issues, but if it pops off, it's really, really strong. You know, Titanial and Talea and even Cherubime are really strong boss monsters. And you can also make rank 4, rank 8s and synchros and such. So, you know, you have a big pool of boss monsters, you just have to make it. Next up, we have Mermals. And Mermals, they have fallen off a bit, but not that much. It's still a tier 1 deck in my opinion, but yeah, I would say that Bat is better. Fuck it. Frankly, just people aren't playing it as much. People are playing artifacts more. People are figuring out how to play artifacts versus Mermals, aka you aggro them out because artifacts aren't that good as interrupts versus Mermals, but Mermals are weak to getting aggroed out if they don't combo off. But you know, I still think they are a very good deck. Nimble Mermals, I'm gonna put it in high rogue. It's the combo version of Mermals, and nobody has played it in 3 years or something. But I still do think that it's solid if people were to bring it. Next up, we have Mythic Rulers, which I'm also counting Hand Rulers as well. But like in general, I would say it is top of tier 2. It's a really solid mid-range deck that can make some combo-ish boards and can aggro out, but can also fall back on skill drain and hands. And Phoenix Wind Blast is a really good card when it's free, so yeah. Still of the opinion that it is the best quote-unquote combo deck in the format. Next up we have Ninjas, which I love Ninjas, but I don't think they are that good. Ninja Jurak is probably the best build, or Ninja Artifacts, but you know, you can build Ninjas in like literally a dozen ways, but none of them are really good, so yeah, I'm putting it in high rogue. Another deck that I have top with Noble Knights, both Noble Knights and Noble Knight Artifacts I think are mid-rogue at best. It's one of the few decks in which like playing the Artifact is has enough drawbacks where it is good, but it's not strictly superior. However, it is a really all or nothing deck with, you know, you either open the Medrot or you don't. Medrot plus an equip spell, of course, I mean. Next up we have Ojama Knight, or at least Ojamas. And I'm gonna put it in low rogue because it has no proof of concept really, but I wouldn't be surprised if it rose to mid rogue because Ojama Country, Ojama Magic, Ojama Blue are pretty decent cards, and with Junk Synchron you can make level 5s, which with artifacts you can make into rank 5s, so that's pretty good. However, there is a much better deck at making rank 5s through level 5s, and that is Synchrons, which Pure Synchrons is casual, okay? And Synchron Artifacts is high rogue. I do think the deck is pretty damn solid, honestly. Like, Armades is a pretty insane card. You know, Giraffe is brutal, but Armades is no joke either in solving the deck's artifacts' main issue, aka face down monsters. And yeah, you can make plays with it, so yeah, it's pretty good, in my opinion. Next up, we have Psychics, which I'm gonna put in mid-rogue. Mythic's Psychic Traptrix mainly is the deck that I'm thinking about. It's a pretty solid deck, can make a mean Leo, but you know, if the deck is good into Leo, then the deck is good into Psychics, really. Next up, we have Rockstone, which I'm gonna put in casual, not a very good deck at all. Scraps, I'm gonna put in low rogue. I tried to cook with the deck a few years ago, but it's really bad. Six Samurais, I'm gonna put in mid-rogue. It's probably the deck that has been cooked the most without achieving any success. Like, it has a loyal fan base, but you know, Beast is good into some decks, but it's also kind of bad into others where, you know, yeah, they have Soul Charge, but that's kind of it. They don't. Gilgas and Murmurs run like 5 spells total. Barkyun is good, but dies to Sanctum. And Xian also dies to Sanctum and is, for some reason, still at 1. I don't know why. Kind of ridiculous, kind of underpowered, but yeah. Next up, we have Spellbooks, which are still really good deck. Spellbooks. They activate Spellbooks and the search, and you know, the main development that happened recently is they started playing Temperance, because the deck without Priestess is kind of just a sitting duck. Yeah, it ramps, but doesn't really exert any pressure. But you know, with Temperance, you are playing 3 extra copies of your Priestess, and sometimes it is even scarier that way. You don't even need the 3 Spellbooks in hand to combo off, yeah. Next up, we have Spirits, which I'm gonna put at the bottom of tier 3. I feel like the deck has potential. You know, either as like a level 4 deck or like rank 5, an artifact deck. You know, kind of similar to Watts, where it is a slow rank 4 engine. So, you know, you can play dualities and such, and plus with Aratama. But it is inherently passive and quite exploitably so. Not even really passive, but stalling, just passive. Next up, we have Sylvans. Sylvans, I do think, are a pretty good deck, honestly. Like, I used to be a lot lower on the deck, but the builds with like Rivalry and Call Daunted and Breakthrough Skill I do think those are quite a bit stronger than the more combo builds with the other level ones and Archfiend Zoph. But yeah, my opinion on the deck has risen over time. Next, we have TGs, which I'm gonna put in mid-rogue because, you know, you can play hands and skill drain. There's just better decks to do it. So yeah. Traptrix, I'm gonna be talking about it like playing Traptrix often with artifacts, but you know, with Nepenthes and such. And I feel like the deck is decent because Nepenthes, you know, for all its flaws, it is a really strong card when it resolves. So yeah. Next up, we have Umbral Horrors, which, if you remember, once a while ago, I did overrate quite a bit, but you know, I since discovered that I built the deck with an illegal play assumed into it, so yeah. Not the best rank 4 deck, but you know, it's still kind of fine, I guess. Windups are another deck that has been cooked with quite a while with 0 results. It's just not very good in the format. You can play hands, you most likely want to play artifacts, but you know, how much do you want to go into the rank 5 aspect? Wow, the extra deck is extremely tight because you're trying to run 3 different toolboxes and very likely instant fusion. So yeah. However, I do think the deck might top at some point, but kind of like Black Wings, it is relying on an unsearchable continuous spell. to plus, so that's worrying. Pure Watts or Watt Hunters, I'm gonna put in mid-rogue, mainly because there's no real reason to run it over what artifact, but you know, if you want to run it, it's okay, I guess. Next up we have Worms, which another one of those decks that kind of gets bailed out by the fact that you can just smash a bunch of engines in it, and it's gonna do fine. I'm gonna put it at the bottom of tier 3 actually, because it's really just not seeing any play, but if it was, it would see tops in my opinion. Next up we have X-Sabers, which kind of like Blackwings, if you can play it pure, and it's bad, especially because Hanley is really bad into artifacts, but you know, if you play it with artifacts, it has its own share of issues. So I am gonna put it in mid-rogue, but leaning on low-rogue. And finally we have Zombies, which I am gonna put in mid-rogue because it's kind of just worse Chaos Sworn by quite a bit, but you know, it is decent at making those same kind of monsters like Beals, and it can spam Lava Chain quite a bit. So yeah, that's it from me. Leave a like, join the Discord, subscribe, ring a bell, all that good shit, and goodbye.